everyone, my name is Waterwitch 222 and welcome to another React video. Finally! I'm finally going to be watching Pinkie The Little Mermare, which was released over a month ago. Exactly. I know this is delayed, but I got very involved in my school's production of Catch Me If You Can, which totally rocked, by the way. And yeah, I was trying to save my voice that way it wouldn't blow out trying to do these longer videos while at the same time trying to sing all the time. So yeah, that was a thing. But I'm finally here, I'm finally back, and I'm going to try to get back to my usual recording schedule, which is whenever I feel like it in the span of every few weeks. Well, it'll be a lot more, I'll be uploading a lot more than I did for the past few weeks, so yay! And already, I am loving this look for Pinkie. It's so cute. I mean, look! But she has a lot of mascara on. Oh my goodness. But yes, Pinkie The Little Mermare. I have avoided trailers, I've avoided spoilers about it, and I even made my little sister watch it in the other rooms just so I wouldn't hear it. I know literally nothing about this except for the fact that it's a parody of The Little Mermaid, which is one of my favorite childhood stories, so oh my goodness, something in my throat. Without further ado, let's do this! Pinkie Tales! The Little Mermare! By Magpie Pony.
You're in for such a treat tonight, Poundin' Pumpkin. This is one of my favorite stories, like, ever!
Same!
All about the mysterious merponies that live under the sea. Shall we get started?
Under the sea. Under the sea.
Long ago, before the creation of Equestria, there was a vast cloud kingdom called Skyvale. It was the single largest Pegasus kingdom in the world, and it produced the weather for all neighboring Earth and Unicorn kingdoms. The Pegasi worked tirelessly, creating rainbows, wind, and rain clouds that would then be traded away in exchange for food. The city itself hovered over a great blue ocean so that it could use the water for weather production. Ships of food and supplies had to sail all over this ocean to reach Skyvale. However, over a short span of time, less and less ships were able to reach their destination. Surviving sailors told tales of mystical singing voices that would lure the supply ships to the
Ooh, yay, this one has exposition.
To the bottom of the ocean, crew and all. Scholars and skeptics
exposition, hash it out ASAP.
Unbeknown to the pony world above, an underwater city called Aquatica lay directly beneath the
Aquatica, I like that.
It was inhabited by all the creatures of the ocean, including the fabled merponies. The wise and benevolent king had forbidden his subjects to swim to the surface world, lest they be caught by the pony races above. He feared those ponies would invade his kingdom and take their resources for their own greedy purposes. This, however, did not stop the curiosity.
Everything's all peppy and cheerful now.
Of the king's daughter, Pardia. Against her father's wishes, she would swim to the surface to learn of the world she was forbidden to see.
Ooh, that art's really good.
Pardiel made the journey towards the surface
Pardiel.
in search of something special. Her faithful friend,
Floundershy.
Despite her growing anxiety of being caught.
Pardiel, are you sure we should be going this way? Some pony might see us.
Floundershy cautioned, darting her eyes as she swam.
She's so cute as a fish.
You're just being a scaredy fins, Floundershy. Besides, I had to find something special for Mod Cod's birthday. Remember? Get it, Mod Cod? Because cod is a type of... I know, but you never know what...
She breaks the fourth wall more than Deadpool.
I thought you loved all kinds of fish and animals. Oh, I do. I love sea stars, and sea sponges, and Nemo, and even a nice shark, but have you seen an octopus trap its prey? All those arms! Why does it need all those arms?
Floundershy brings up a very good point.
Silly Floundershy. There's no octopuses here. Come on.
Octopuses.
Pardiel giggled at
I
the
English
of
good.
her friend's phobias and continued towards the surface. It wasn't long before she broke through
Oh,
the
this
haze
art is
and
gorgeous.
saw the sunlight overhead.
Nothing like breathing in the dry, salty air. I guess that means the pony part of me still has air-type lungs, and the fish part of me has gills. Does that mean I can breathe?
Let's try not to question the logistics of merpony anatomy, Pinkie.
Ugh, you're one of those narrators saying big ol' leaky words I can't understand. Like Twilight
I know, I was at exams all day. Why can't you dumb it down a bit?
Island that she wanted to visit in order to meet up with a strange sky dweller friend.
Are you ignoring me?
Oh, Partiel, is that you, darling?
A familiar voice called. Partiel smiled and swam to greet her friend, Floundershy trailing after her just beneath the waves.
Partiel, what brings you up here?
Hang on, Birdie. Hey, you! Don't you ignore me! I have a legitimate question and you just shirked me off just like that?
Ah, the other narrators warned me about you. They said if you get out of line, I can send you to the bad Pinkie corner.
But I'm the star! You can't punish the star or the story won't continue!
I guess you better behave.
Yep.
Pound and Pumpkin will be very disappointed, won't they?
You don't play fair! But that's really smart. I like you. We're gonna get along just fine, you and me.
So, Partiel, what brings you up here on this glorious day?
Birdie asked.
Birdie.
Was a seagull, and the first and only friend of Partiel's who lived above the ocean. She would spin marvelous tales of her travels, and show her little trinkets she had acquired from the ponies in the Cloud Kingdom.
I'm here for a super special reason. My sister's birthday is today, and I want to get her something extra super duper amazingly special. Won't your father be suspicious if you bring her something from the pony world? Oh, please. He doesn't know his pearls from his dingle hoppers.
Dingle hopper.
Birdie smiled and displayed an array of gemstones she had collected over the years and stashed on her little island.
Alright, let's see what I have here for your sister.
All
an
the
emerald,
gems.
Perhaps? Or a ruby? I suppose it would depend on her colors. Tell me, is she a winter or a summer? It makes all the difference, darling.
Makes all the difference, darling.
That one!
Partiel shouted, pointing her hoof at a dull and unremarkable stone that had washed ashore.
That. But that's just a rock.
Aren't all of these rocks?
Well, technically I suppose they could be classified as rocks, but these are gemstones. Far more valuable than any washed-up little pebble. I thought you were looking for something a little more exotic. Why bother coming to shore if you're going to pick something that can be found anywhere in the ocean?
This rock looks just like a sea cake. You can't find that on the ocean floor. It's super duper special, and Modcott is gonna love it.
Yay!
Birdie, can I?
Oh, alright. If you insist.
I do insist.
Birdie,
Partiel started, but was cut off when she noticed a strange
Rainbow dash.
array of colors pass overhead from one cloud to the next. Partiel had never seen a rainbow before, and its beauty had left her speechless.
Oh my. Looks as if the prince is at it again.
Rainbow Dash is always the prince.
Oh, yes. The Pegasus Prince has a habit of taking the rainbows from production and flaunting them about when he flies. It is rather lovely, though, isn't it?
Rainbow. Is that what that is?
Partiel said, reaching out her hoof in bewilderment.
Speak of the stallion. Here he comes now.
The blue Pegasus with a mane that matched the brilliance of the rainbows he carried was flying fast and freely overhead. And
what?
do you mean to tell me the prince is Rainbow Dash? Again?
That's what I said.
Excuse me, but this is Prince Dashy. Totally different prince and a totally different story.
No, it's Rainbow Dash, and she was already a prince in Cindershy.
Look, I can't go around making everybody think that I'm a Flutterdash shipper, okay? It's Prince Dashy, and he is totally different from that other prince.
Okay, so Birdie is a mare, Floundershy is a mare, but Prince Dashy is a stallion.
Don't question my logic. We're all just playing around here. Genders mean nothing.
Exactly.
As the prince flew,
Oh my gosh, this art!
follow like a streak of light in the sky. Partiel could only catch glimpses of the prince as he flew quickly from one cloud to another. She sighed and put her hooves to her chest, looking down at it in confusion.
That's strange. I feel all tingly inside.
Partiel, do you have feelings for the prince? A mermaid with a crush on a Pegasus. Oh, ridiculously romantic.
Ship her on deck to the
I need to
lifeboats.
speak to him. You must. You must.
You must.
But how? The Pegasi live too far above the water to reach.
Love will find a way, won't it?
I
Partiel?
know. Love will find a way.
Tell you what. Why don't you swim down and write him a letter, and I'll deliver it to the prince myself.
You do that for me?
Of course, darling. What else do I have going on? I'm an annoying, squawky little bird with no social standings. Go on, hurry home with you, and be back with that letter before sundown.
Partiel squealed and dove back.
Pinky's
under the
gonna get
waves
grounded,
as
isn't
fast
she?
as her fins would take her. Floundershy had to grip onto the base of Partiel's tail just to keep up.
But what about your sister's party?
Floundershy said shakily as she was thrashed back and forth in the water.
Don't worry, Floundershy. I can do both. I'll write the letter, give Maud Card her present, and then sneak back to the surface before sundown.
You'll do what?
Oh, hi,
A new
Twily.
but familiar voice called. Partiel gasped and stopped mid-swim, inadvertently slinging Floundershy off her tail and into her crustaceous friend.
Sorry, Tribastian.
Floundershy
Tribastian.
said, swimming away from the crab to hide behind Partiel.
Did I hear you say you'll sneak back to the surface? Your
No.
father has strictly forbidden you to...
But Tribastian, you don't understand. It's love.
What?
Partiel may have seen the Pegasus Prince, and, she has kind of a crush on him. Oh, it's much more than that. I'm an impulsive teenager with single-minded determination to get what I want, and I've set my sights on something that I just can't have. It must be fate.
Partiel, this has gone too far. If your
Partiel.
father found out that I let you swim to the surface again, he'd have my head. You're coming with me right now, and you're never to speak of this nonsense again. Understand?
No.
Partiel said with a shrug, giving up uncharacteristically soon.
I was done speaking about it anyway. I'd much rather sing. Oh no.
Partiel!
Oh my.
A wonderful
The feeling I have growing.
Partiel, please don't start.
It's a twitchy, itchy, warm sensation.
I can feel a migraine.
I don't want to
Until now you didn't know
and I
it.
simply cannot doubt
And
it.
you really shouldn't show it.
There's no denying that I've fallen for some pony.
Oy vey.
I dream of living in the clouds and flying freely with him. No pony else can make me feel like I'm in love.
Pinky with wings is just weird.
The rules are what keep you safe.
Now that I have seen him, I am convinced.
That didn't take much.
He's the pony I'm supposed to be.
How would you know?
Just wait, I'm gonna see
You
him.
mean you have only seen
Can't
him?
wait until I meet
You
him.
haven't actually met him.
And even though we're from two worlds, we'll be together.
Are you crazy?
Yep.
Dream of living in the clouds and flying freely with him. No pony
else can make me feel like I'm in love. I wanna watch the sunset from way up high. I just might dash in. Nobody else gonna be with him but me.
Do you like how I finally snuck a song into Pinkie Tales?
When Partiel returned
Oh
to the
my
Quantum Palace,
goodness.
her cheerful disposition quickly faded as she was met with the disapproving glare of King Crankyton.
King Crankyton.
been?
Just, finding a present for Modcott, of course.
Partiel said, placing the small stone on her sister's hoof. Modcott stared at it incredulously.
Metamorphic, combination of granite and cloudcrete, commonly found in the construction of Pegasi dwellings.
Pegasi dwellings?
But look how it's shaped. Doesn't it look like a sea cake to you?
Partiel asked nervously, trying to divert her father's attention.
It looks like a rock. Thank you, Partiel. I love it.
You went to the surface again, didn't you?
No.
Well, she was only trying to find the right gift for Modcard, Your Majesty Crankyton, sir.
Floundershy said,
Floundershy?
and failing to help the situation.
Party-L, I have told you again and again never to go to the surface world. They're a greedy, vile, untrustworthy race only out for themselves. If they discovered we were beneath these waters, merponies and creatures alike would be in danger. Don't you understand that?
But Doodle Daddy, how do you know they're bad? Have you ever even met one?
That's enough. You will swim to your
Party-L has a point, though.
Without joining the festivities of your sister's birthday.
What?
Why, Bastion, you will guard her in her room.
Me?
Is there a problem with that?
No, sir. No problem.
Good. I don't want to hear another word about this surface nonsense ever again.
King Crankyton exclaimed, pointing his hoof in the direction of the palace. Party-L held back tears as she swam to her room in defeat. While the uncertainty of the surface world was a danger to merponies, there was a far more present evil lurking under the waves.
Okay, who's the villain?
Just outside Aquatica lived 3 dark and
Ooh.
magical creatures known as the Sirens.
The Sirens are the
Unlike
villain this
regular
time.
merpony kind, these creatures harnessed a strange magic that allowed them to affect the pony world above. Using their red crystals, they would sing captivating songs to pony sailors, guiding their ships into the rocks.
Exposition, hash it out ASAP.
King Crankyton feared their magic and banished them away from the city. Over time, their home became littered with the debris of the ships they sank, causing it to be named the Sunken Ship Graveyard. The Sirens kept to themselves and did not converse with many sea creatures, only those who dared to enter their domain. Their magic allowed them to keep an eye on both pony and merpony worlds. Until now, their efforts to achieve their goal had been futile. However, the sudden romantic interest from the merpony princess gave the Sirens an opportunity.
As usual, a sudden teenage romance makes everything fall into place.
In love with a Pegasus.
The eldest siren, Adagio Dazzle, chuckled, gazing into an enchanted bubble that reflected an image of Party-L, singing happily to her friends about her love for the prince.
So what?
Aria Blaze, the middle siren, said, uninterested.
This could be exactly what we need to finally take control of Skyvale.
I thought we wanted Prince Dashy's medallion thingy.
The youngest, Sonata Dusk, asked, obliviously bobbing her head in tune with Party-L's song.
Duh. The medallion is what controls the weather, and whoever controls the weather controls Skyvale.
Oh, yeah.
Our crystals, combined with the prince's pendant, will give us all the power we need to control every ship that dares set sail on our ocean.
Why do we even bother sinking ships anyway? The fear we collect from pony sailors is never enough to satisfy our hunger. So what makes you think adding more shipwrecks will do
Arya is the only one who ever
We can
thinks
sink
with
them all
logic.
at once by conjuring up the greatest storm this planet has ever seen. It'll be so epic that fear will be struck in the hearts of all pony kind.
Except the merponies. Merponies don't worry about storms.
Merponies don't even have magic to steal, Sonata.
Yeah, they do.
Do not.
Do too.
Do not.
Do too.
Enough!
Adagio
Thank you,
screamed,
Adagio.
effectively silencing the pair of them.
I want you two to follow that little Mermare princess. Convince her that she might need a little help getting the pony of her dreams for the right price.
And what exactly are you going to be doing?
I'll be conjuring up a spell, of course. Something we can use to trap that little princess into doing what we need her to do.
I dream of living in the clouds and flying freely with him.
Will you shut it already?
What?
It's
It's
catchy.
catchy.
I called it.
While Party-L
Oh my
sung
gosh,
and the
daring
sirens
do.
screamed, Prince Dashy was in the sky, struggling to pay attention to a very important lesson. His mentor, Daring Duke, was attempting to teach
Daring
him how to
Duke.
use the Skyveil pendant to send storm clouds to the north.
Dashy, are you listening?
Royal pendant, blah, 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 big responsibilities, yada, yada.
Dashy said, lounging on the cloud with his hooves behind his head.
That blah 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 is very important. You're the prince for Skyvale's sake, and your father has given the pendant to you for a reason. You and you alone have the power to send the weather across the world.
Thanks, Mr. Exposition. I think I
Exposition,
Daring
hash it
Duke
out
allowed under his
ASAP.
breath, then attempted to regain his composure.
It's very important that you check with the Pegasi Cloudkeepers to make sure the right kinds of weather are sent to the right places. The biggest problem you're going to have is starting up storm clouds.
What do you mean starting up? Doesn't this magic doohickey do all that?
Yes, but only on a cloud-by-cloud basis. After you use the pendant to send them on their way, it's your duty to start the lightning and thunder for each storm cloud. You have to be very careful though. Lightning is still unpredictable. Are you sure you can handle this?
Quit your worrying, Dookie Doo. I've been training
Dookie
my
Doo.
whole life for this. When do I start?
Right now, we're set to send this storm to the unicorns in the north. I'll go with you this time so you can...
Ready, set, go!
Prince Dashi announced, zooming past Daring Duke in an array of colors.
You've been using the rainbows again to show off? Oh, Dash, we've talked about this!
Meanwhile, under the waves, Princess Partiel and Floundershy had managed to slip away from Twibastian's watch. As soon as she was sure she hadn't been followed, she swam towards the surface, hoping to see more rainbows and, possibly, a glimpse of her beloved prince.
She forgot to write a letter!
This time, knowing that it was imperative they swim as quietly as possible. Partiel could tell by the flashes of light above her head that a storm was brewing in the sky. She frowned, knowing that a rainbow and her prince wouldn't be around for such poor weather. She turned tail in defeat and resolved to swim home when she heard a mighty crack of thunder, followed by a loud splash. Partiel looked in horror to see a slightly charred and wounded Prince Dashi sinking in the ocean.
Dashi!
Partiel shouted, swimming after him. She didn't hesitate, scooping up her prince in her hooves and attempting to keep his head above the water. Shouldering his weight, she swam towards the only piece of land.
Go Partiel, go Partiel. This is totally intense.
By the time she reached it, she slumped the prince's body on the sand and tried to catch her breath.
Wake up! Please, wake up!
Partiel whispered, unsure how to help him breathe. She shook him gently once, then again, pleading for him to open his eyes.
You have to wake up, Dashi. You just have to. You can't leave me. That's not how the story goes. You're supposed to be okay. Please, Dashi, you're scaring me.
Partiel continued to panic and ramble until at last, Prince Dashi coughed and sputtered the water.
And at last I see the light. Can you feel the love tonight?
Who are you? So pretty.
Dashi! Where are you? Dashi, answer me!
Daring Duke called from somewhere in the sky. Partiel gasped and dove back under the waves, not wanting to be caught.
Dashi! Hang on, I'm coming!
Daring Duke cried with a mixture of relief and panic in his tone. He landed on the beach near the prince and pulled him further away from the water.
Dashi be like, so this is love. Do-do-do-do.
That mare. She saved me.
Hang on, Dashi. You'll be all right.
Daring Duke said, pulling the prince onto his back. With some struggle, he took off in flight towards the palace. Partiel watched the exchange just below the water a few feet away. Her mind was buzzing with the words he had said.
I don't think he's coming back, Partiel.
Floundershy said, putting a fin on her friend sympathetically.
He said I was pretty. He looked so happy. Even though he almost died, he looked at me like he loved me. I can't go on without him, Floundershy. I just have to know what he thinks of me. But how? You don't even know where he lives.
I guess that means you'll have to fly there.
Partiel and Floundershy turned around sharply to see
Dun,
where the
dun,
third
dun.
unfamiliar voice had come. Two strange merpony creatures had joined them, both looking friendly and still frightening at the same time.
Fly there?
Well, that's the only way you can get to Skyvale, isn't it?
And it just so happens we know how you can do it. Who are you?
Partiel asked cautiously, Floundershy hiding behind her fin in the process.
Or the sirens, of course.
You have heard of us, haven't you? Well, yeah.
Then you must know that we have access to some powerful magic.
And we're totally willing to share it with you, too. But why? Follow us.
We'll explain it on the way.
Is there going to be a song?
Swimming
Is there
away,
going to be like some
expecting
explanation,
Partiel to follow.
exposition
I
song?
don't think we should do it. Let's just go home. But they said they could help. They said I could see my prince again.
Floundershy grimaced in disagreement. Following her gut instinct, she slipped away from the princess and the sirens when they weren't looking. She swam as quickly as her little fins would take her back towards Aquatica.
Your Majesty!
Princess.
Adagio said.
Come in, my child.
Pardiel noted that they were in a particularly large sunken pony ship. Spells and dangerous-looking objects lined the shelves, nooks and crannies of what was once the captain's quarters.
Whoa! You really have evil bat eyewear down to an art!
My fellow sirens here tell me that you have a bit of a problem. A Pegasus problem, to be exact.
I want to be a Pegasus so that I can fly up and find my prince.
Well, we can certainly help you with that.
Adagio said,
I admit that in the
gathering magical
past I've
supplies
been
while the other
nasty.
sirens kept a close eye on Pardiel.
You will? But why?
I don't know what you've heard about us sirens, but I assure you it isn't all true.
We're merponies, just like you.
We just want to belong. So you're not villains? You're just shy magical mermares who sink ships and happen to live in a really spooky graveyard?
No pony's ever harmed. The sailors merely fly away when the ship sinks.
Or use their magic to teleport somewhere else.
Yeah.
Or flail around in the water and scream like little guppies because they never learned how to swim. What?
Sonata.
We only mean to protect the merponies. Perhaps if the Pegasi understood us poor sea creatures, then they could keep other ponies from trying to hurt and use us.
Adagio makes a very good point.
Well, yes.
But
We may be good merponies, but we don't work for free, you know.
I don't have any money with me, but I guess I could swing back and get you some if you really wanted me to. It's not like I'm hurting for riches, since, you know, I am a princess after all. No, but then again, what would you want with money? Oh, I know, maybe you just want to be friends, is that it? I mean, if I were a misunderstood pony who lived in Creepsville, I would
Just give us your voice!
teach me how not to seem so dark and mysterious all the time.
But you...
And if you befriend the princess, well then you've really got a good chance of impressing other ponies because, I mean...
Even Sonata looks ticked off.
Am I right? And I'm sure...
Your voice! We want your annoying, never-ending, high-pitched, squeaking voice so we don't have to listen to it anymore.
Make it stop!
Sonata wailed in the corner while Arya covered her ears.
But if I don't have my voice, how can I tell Dashi that I'm the one who saved him? And that he was all wrong about merponies and...
You'll figure it out, I'm sure. Do you really think he won't love you if you don't talk? Trust me, we're doing you a favor here.
Oh, well, then you'll make me a Pegasus for my voice, right?
Our spell will work for 3 days. You have until then to get Prince Dashi to say I love you. If he does, you'll remain a Pegasus forever and live happily ever after.
But what if I don't?
Then you'll have to come back and serve us.
Forever. Forever and ever? Yes! Well, I don't know.
The clock is ticking, Pardiel.
Tick-tock,
This
tick-tock,
offer won't
tick-tock,
last
tick.
forever.
Pardiel bit her lip and mentally weighed her choices. She heaved a sigh and nodded softly.
All right. Turn me into a Pegasus and I'll give you my voice. And if I fail, I'll work for you forever and ever and ever. I pinky promise.
Pinkie, what? What is that?
Look, just sign this magic parchment and the deed will be done.
Pardiel took the magic quill from beside the parchment.
Magic
Carefully
parchment
scrawled
and
her
magic
name on the
quill.
dotted line.
How
As
redundant.
soon as the quill left the parchment, it disappeared, and the 3 sirens laughed in unison. They used their crystals to conjure a magical beam of red light. It hit Pardiel directly in the chest and traveled up to her throat.
Wait, I didn't get to say goodbye.
She started, but the magic pried the voice from her body before she could finish. Adagio smiled, engulfing the magic with her crystal and directing a second beam of light towards the Mermare's chest. Sonata and Arya quickly following suit. In a red flash of light, Pardiel's body began to change.
No!
Floundershy shouted from the entrance to the lair.
Too late.
Arya said with a dark smile.
Let her go!
Twy-Bastion demanded, swimming at the sirens in anger.
The king will be furious!
Too bad. So sad.
The magic from the siren's pendants let out a final burst of light, and Pardiel reappeared. Somehow in the transformation, her mane and coat color had changed, along with her body. Her once bright pink complexion was now a pale white, with a yellow bouncy mane and tail.
Her name's she's surprised now!
A new flank, hooves, and wings, however, before she began choking on the lack of oxygen.
If we were you, we'd hightail it up to that little island before your princess drowns.
This isn't over!
Twy-Bastion called, assisting Floundershy as they carried Pardiel away quickly.
It's surprise. That's amazing. I love it.
The trio of friends struggled at the surface.
Our plan is in action.
Adagio started, but stopped mid-sentence when she realized the voice coming from her throat was no longer her own.
Wait.
Oh my gosh. No, this can't be happening. The magic wasn't supposed to do that.
Oh, great. Now we have to listen to that high-pitched whine all the time.
This is the funniest thing I have ever seen. Like, ever. No!
Adagio screamed again in anger, the other sirens having to stifle their laughter in the process.
Wow.
What were you thinking?
Twy-Bastion raged, pacing back and forth on the little island while Pardiel attempted to use her back hooves.
The king is going to kill me! I am a dead crab!
Maybe
Just
we
stay
should
on the
practice
surface.
Sirens instead.
What? Are you crazy? He would have been even more mad! I was supposed to watch her! Not only did I fail, but now she's gone and made a deal with the sirens? She's a Pegasus now! She's the very thing the king hates the most! I am so dead!
Pardiel rolled her eyes and opened her mouth to talk, but no sound came.
And, of course, you can't even talk now. How in the hay are you supposed to do anything if you can't even talk? Obviously, you had to promise something to the sirens in order for them to give you this spell. If the price was your voice, then what's the catch?
Pardiel scrunched her face and put a hoof to her mouth, trying to think of a way to convey her message. She brightened when she met Floundershy's gaze, and waved her hooves to get her attention.
Oh, I think she's trying to tell us something.
You think?
Oh, yeah.
Pardiel moved her hooves dramatically and changed her facial expressions, not dropping Floundershy's gaze.
Let's see.
Charades!
I get to be a Pegasus for 3 days, and have to make the prince say I love you before time is up, or else I turn into a mermare and have to serve the sirens forever.
Floundershy interpreted. Pardiel smiled and nodded enthusiastically.
You got all of that from her hoof flailing?
I guess so, yeah.
A lot of good that will do us. Floundershy can't exactly follow you to Skyvale and interpret. Besides, I don't think ponies can understand animals. Well, not many of them anyway.
Then what are we going to do?
The only thing we can do. I'll have to go with Pardiel to Skyvale, and you will have to stall the king until this whole mess is sorted out.
Me? Stall the king?
Unless you have a better idea.
Pardiel attempted for a second time to remain on her hooves, but continued to fail, falling back on the sand and sending it toppling over her friends in the process.
I guess not.
Floundershy said, shaking the sand from her gills.
All right then. First things first. We'll have to figure out how to get you to stand on those things.
Twy-Bastion said, Pardiel nodding enthusiastically in response.
Yay, just put one hoof in front of the other.
Duke and Prince Dashi were wandering the beaches below Skyvale in search of the mysterious mare who had saved the prince's life. Daring Duke was unconvinced that such a mare existed, claiming that she was a figment of Dashi's imagination.
I'm telling you, Dookie Doo.
Dookie Doo.
Stop calling me that. You know I hate that.
That's why I do it. But listen, I know that mare's out there somewhere. There's no other way I could have survived this without her.
Wait, is that her?
Daring Duke asked in shock, pointing a hoof at a clumsy-looking Pegasus who couldn't seem to fly straight.
No, the mare I saw was pink, but it looks like she needs some help.
What? No, not right.
Twy-Bastion said in exasperation. He was hidden somewhere.
Sirens, blah.
Getting landsick from Pardiel's amusing attempts at flight. Pardiel didn't give up. keeping her sights set on the castle ahead. She didn't realize Dashi was flying to her aid, and before the prince could say a word, Pardiel collided into him. The pair of them tumbled to the ground.
Whoa! Are you okay, miss?
Dashi asked, righting himself. Pardiel looked up and beamed from ear to ear. She had found her prince at last. She leapt from the ground and tackled him in a hug, catching the prince off guard.
Nice to meet you, too.
Dashi said, trying to pry himself from the hug and failing.
What's your name?
Pardiel released him from her embrace and moved her lips to respond, forgetting that she was without a voice. The prince looked at her both confused and slightly amused as she flailed her hooves and attempted to convey her name.
You can't talk, can you?
It took him how long to figure that out?
Twybastian muttered from Pardiel's mane. Even so, Pardiel's over-exaggerated movements and infectious smile struck a chord with the prince. This mare was so close to the one he was seeking that he felt drawn to her.
Hey, you're new to Skyvale, aren't you?
Pardiel nodded enthusiastically.
Do you need some kind of help? My friend Dookie and I saw you struggling to fly. Here, take my hoof. We'll get you back to the castle so you can rest. I have an excellent staff who can make sure you're all right.
Pardiel's
Yay! Dashi's so nice.
to his. However, she failed to remember how to keep her balance on three hooves and toppled over again. Prince Dashi laughed as he helped her back onto her wobbly hooves.
You certainly know how to surprise a pony. Since I don't know your name, can I call you that? Surprise?
Surprise!
Name, so he just names you? This is the pony you want to be with?
Yes.
Pardiel ignored him.
He gives nicknames. What's not adorable about that?
That afternoon, Pardiel
This art is adorable!
Once he was sure, Prince Dashi offered to tour the kingdom together. He showed her how they made the weather, and how his pendant was the key to activate... You know what? This Pinkie Tales has already gone on for a good chunk of time. I think I might just skip ahead to the romantic sunset part.
Wait,
Any
what?
objections?
No! Stop!
No objections?
No!
Maybe we can cut out that other song, too. Save some time.
Stop it!
On with the story, then.
1 more hour. Only 1 more hour. You have to get him to say it, Pardiel.
Twybastian cautioned from Pardiel's mane. Pardiel was too preoccupied staring lovingly into Prince Dashi's eyes to pay the crab any attention. The pair of them were
Now kiss!
atop the sand of a beach just below Skyvale. Prince Dashi had wanted to watch the sunset with her and reminisce about the fun and frivolity of the days they had spent together. Pardiel had had the time of her life with Dashi, and each day her love grew stronger. Twybastian was the only voice of reason to remind her of the situation at Hoof. Every passing hour he became more frantic in his attempts to get Dashi to say the magic words.
You know, a few days ago, I would have done anything to find that mare who saved me. I thought I was in love with her. But I don't think I've ever met someone like you, Surprise. You're so fun and random. And those pranks you pulled? Classic.
Say, I love you!
Dookie will be very happy with you for a while.
Pardiel smiled again and snuggled closer to the prince.
This sunset's really pretty, isn't it?
Dashi said,
Yes.
pointing to the
Yes,
sparkle of
it's
sunlight
lovely.
on the water.
Say, I love
Pardiel's
you.
eyes widened at the mention of the sunset, and her entire demeanor changed. She quickly pulled away from the prince and put a hoof on her chest, then pointed to Dashi. She did the same to him, trying to get him to understand.
Oh, so now you listen to me.
Wait, what's wrong?
Pardiel continued the cycle, touching her chest, then the prince, touching his chest, and then herself. Unfortunately, the prince wasn't catching...
Draw into the sand!
Have heartburn?
Pardiel shook her head.
You're trying a secret hoof shake?
Pardiel shook her head again, glancing at the sunset in panic.
Oh, come on! It's not that difficult.
Twybastian exclaimed.
You're on sand! Draw into the sand!
Prince Dashi said, examining Pardiel's head curiously. Twybastian popped out of the hair in bewilderment.
You can understand me? You could have understood me this whole time?
I can speak to any animal. It's part of my princely teachings, duh. Oh, I said...
Tell her I love you!
But, wait, so who are you?
There's no time to explain. Quick, tell Pardiel you love her before the sun sets.
Pardiel looked at the prince with wide, pleading eyes, and though he didn't understand, he and took the little crab's instruction.
I guess I do love you. Surprise or Partiel, was it?
The sun set over the water as soon as the words escaped his mouth. Twybastian gave a loud cheer in celebration.
You did it, Partiel! You did.
But before Twybastian could finish his victory, Partiel vanished into thin air, leaving a confused crab and prince behind.
What? No!
To fulfill her part of our little bargain, of course.
A new voice said as the three sirens emerged from the sea. Their crystals were
They
glowing,
cheated.
and a trapped pink mermare hovered above the water beside them.
Let her go!
Prince Dashi demanded, attempting to fly to Partiel's aid, but was instead repelled by the siren's magic.
He said he loved her. That was the deal.
Did you really expect us to be honest? If Partiel had read the contract rather than prattled on, she would see that she would end up our slave anyway.
And why didn't you say it to her sooner? I mean, Partiel can still read and write, right? She signed her name on the contract. Is the prince illiterate or something? Girls, you're getting off track. We have a little deal to strike with the prince here. Now that we know you're in love with that pathetic little mermare, we're willing to bet you'll do just anything to save her. Wait, that voice.
Are you just figuring everything out
God.
now? Your precious Mermare princess traded her voice to Adagio so she could be a Pegasus for you. Duh.
Then it was you who saved me. I knew it.
Prince Dashi exclaimed happily as Partiel nodded her head. His excitement was short-lived, however. Realizing the danger
Stop talking and save your princess!
he turned to face the sirens with a dark glare.
What do you want? Your pendant, of course. Give it over, or Partiel will serve us for the rest of eternity as a taco cart.
Taco cart?
Carts.
Why? I've always wanted one of those. Fat chance!
Prince Dashi shouted, holding the pendant in the air and summoning a storm cloud. He
Storms!
cloud and kicked aside.
You're in the eye of the storm. Whoa.
In the containment field around Partiel. The sirens growled and their crystals grew brighter, deflecting the lightning and sending it back towards Dashi. The prince dodged and kicked the cloud towards the sirens.
Nice dodging skills, Dash.
They thrashed their hooves trying to dissipate it. Prince Dashi was flying circles around them, his pendant glistening as he did so. Soon after, a tornado formed around the sirens that sent all three of them spiraling into the air. Dashi
Looks like Team Rocket's blasting off again.
Against the bubble around him.
Don't worry, I'll get you out of here.
Dashi said, putting his hoof against the bubble. Partiel doing the same.
The crystals! Destroy the crystals and you'll destroy the sirens!
Twybastian called from the shore.
You heard her, ladies and gentlemen. Twybastian is giving the okay to murdering.
Aiming his pendant just right, Dashi sent a bolt of lightning into the
Animation, nice.
Adagio's crystal. He gave a victorious cheer when he saw a pink ray of magic escape the tornado. The magic flew directly at Partiel, bursting the bubble that contained her. Partiel splashed back into the sea. When she emerged, her voice had been fully restored.
Partiel!
Love the animation.
Prince Dashi cried, flying into her open hooves.
I'm fine, but I think we have a big problem.
Partiel cried, pointing her hoof at the sirens who escaped the tornado. Smug gleams on their faces, their crystals each glowing brighter than they had before.
Did you really think you had won, little prince? Now that you have restored my true voice, we can unleash our magic on you. That pendant will be ours.
Adagio announced with a cackle. She and the other sirens turned their attention to the prince and began to sing. Their hypnotic spell was drawing the prince towards them, and he was helpless to stop it.
Dashi, no!
Partiel cried, holding him back as best as she could.
No,
Twybastian hated the
Dashi,
princess,
no!
jumping from Partiel's mane onto Prince Dashi's back and crawling up to cover his ears.
Don't listen! If you don't listen, they can't control you!
The sirens singing.
No, Dashi, no!
He mindlessly pulled away from Partiel and flew towards the sirens, holding out his pendant as he did so.
I don't think so.
Daring Duke called, flying
Duke
directly
ex
to
machina.
Dashi, sending him to the ocean where Partiel was waiting. She caught him, putting her hooves over his ears and making sure he was unable to turn back to the singing villains. Daring Duke had swiped the pendant from the prince long before he hit the waves. The sirens, undeterred, began their hypnotic spell on the Duke. They soon learned, however, that their song was unheeded. Daring Duke had preemptively plugged his ears, effectively blocking their magic.
Once again, Daring Duke is the best.
And with one mighty crack, he bound all three sirens together by their tails.
Daring Duke is the real hero of the story.
Now it's my turn.
King Crankyton said, emerging from the water in a magnificent
Da-da-da-da!
state. The crown atop his head was glowing, and from the pearl embedded within, a great flash of light shot magic through the air towards the unsuspecting sirens. A great swirling vortex appeared before them. Daring Duke smiled and nodded, whipping the sirens around in the air for a moment before slinging them into the portal.
Looks like Team Rocket really is blasting off again.
Closed around them, forever trapping them on the other side.
Whoa! Didn't think you had that in you, Dookie Doo.
Prince Dashy said, shaking his head to clear the trance he had been under.
I haven't really been honest with you, Your Highness. I'm not really a duke. I've been hunting those sirens long before I got to Skyvale. I knew they'd be after the pendant, so I masqueraded as a duke in an effort to keep it safe.
Oh, so you're only like me for my pendant.
Dashy said, jokingly,
Aww.
shutting his friend. Daring Duke sighed and rolled his eyes.
You're not half as incompetent as I thought. The pendant will be safe with you, Dashy. Though I have to admit, that portal of yours sure was useful.
I thought merponies didn't have magic.
Oh, we've had it, but I don't like to use it. No self-respecting pony relies on magical nonsense unless it's absolutely necessary.
I agree.
Floundershy asked.
But Cranky sounds familiar. Is that the Wilstonator?
Behind the king. Artiel smiled, knowing that Floundershy had been the one to alert her father what was happening. Ultimately, she had saved her life. Artiel swam into her and hugged her tightly before answering her question.
Fishy hugs.
Hi. Alternate universe S's will take care of them with alternate universe Pony Twilight.
Artiel, you are in worlds of trouble. When we get back to the palace, you will be grounded for the rest of your life and...
Please, Doodle Daddy, please let me stay with Prince Dashy. I love him.
Artiel pleaded. Prince Dashy joined her, flying just above the waves.
And I love her too.
No, absolutely not. No daughter of mine will marry a Pegasus.
As the king ranted on, a white bird swooped in and stole the crown from atop the king's head. His wig fell into the ocean in the process.
Aha!
Birdie cried, placing the crown on her own brow.
My ship will live on!
The magic of the crown activated, and Partiel's fins began to change.
Yay! She's pink and pretty again!
And jumped into the hooves of her prince. Satisfied with herself, Birdie returned the crown to the king, still perched upon it in case he got any ideas about changing her back.
You're bald?
You know, if you let Partiel stay with the prince, I'm sure we could all forget that we saw that.
Ugh. All right, fine. You can stay with the Pegasus. But if this true love thing doesn't work out, you can bet I'll be back here to take you home.
Don't worry, that'll never happen. Okay, everyone can go away now. This part of the story is just too good to share.
The end.
Rocks in the shape of the end. I guess that means the story is over. I'll have to tell you all the different rocks I found at the bottom of the ocean.
That's quite enough of that. Well, Pounded Pumpkin, I hope you enjoyed this story, and I hope to see you all again next time for some more Pinkie Tales!
Pinkie Tales! Pinkie Tales, Little Mermare. Written and wait, no, I have to read the credits! God! Okay, after this part is played, I'll be able to read the credits properly, because a lot of good people worked on this, and they all deserve recognition. Pinkie Tales, Little Mermare. Written, directed, produced, art, and edited by Magpie Pony. Art and animatic by Optic Spectrum. Art by Cascade. Art by Flurry Note. Art by Brony Cooper. Art by Marking. Art by Travel Sketch. Art by Dragon Rider SC. Starring Wildcard VA as the narrator. Starring Magpie Pony as Partiel. starring the lost narrator as Prince Dashi, Vanna Mellon as Floundershy, Disney Fanatic 2364 as Birdity, Glory of the Rainwings as Twibastion. I called it! DeWilstonator as King Crankyton. Called it. I knew it was him. I knew it. Speedy Sketch as Modcod, and Magpie Pony as Adagio Dazzle. Webcake as Aria Blaze, Ashley H as Sonata Dusk, Cascade as Daring Duke. A Mermare in Love had lyrics and was performed by Magpie Pony with Glory of the Rainwings, and the instrumental was by J-Man. Next time, Pinkie Tails, Egghead and the Beast. Yes! Yes! Beauty and the Beast. Yes! Happy holidays! Oh my gosh, the Ms. Mer ponies is so cute! Yay! Well, that was a nice watch. The voice acting was spot on, the art was adorable, and the story is just as amazing as I remember it. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and rest assured that there will be more React videos coming, and I'm sure to be reacting to Egghead and the Beast once it comes out. Laters, every peoples!